is going to show you how to use Eclipse to set up an Android virtual device, that's the phone emulator itself, and then to create a Hello World program and to run it on the emulator. So the first thing we'll do is to launch Eclipse and to check if we have an Android virtual device or not, and if we don't, to create one. So we'll click on this icon here. It's the opens the Android virtual device manager, so I'll click on that. And I can see I have a list here of virtual machines and there are none available. So I need to create a phone emulator by clicking New. The first thing it's asking for is a name. I'm going to do that in a second because I want to choose first of all the version of Android that I want to use, and that's Android 2.3.3 is the only one installed here, and that's level 10. So level 10 and Android 2.3.3 are the same thing. So I select that, and now that I've that selected, I'm going to name my emulator after the version number and level. This helps me later on if I have multiple emulators to quickly recognize this particular one. So I'm going to call it A233 and L10. So when I see this later on, I know by its name that it's 2.3.3 and level 10. I give it some in this SD card dialog here, I give it some memory, so we're going to give it 10. So we're creating a 10 megabyte SD card which will appear with the device. So if I'm writing a program later on that requires us to write to the SD card, I've already created one here. That's an optional step, but we'll put it in anyway. Next thing is to click AVD. The other items can be left as default. So create AVD, which will create our emulator. And there it is. Its name is A233L10. The target is Android 2.3.3. That's the operating system that will be installed on our phone emulator. And the API level, the application programming interface level, is 10, which is what 2.3.3 is. So 2.3.3, 10, same thing. I can now select that emulator if I like and start it. I'm not going to do that because when I create my Hello World program and run it, it'll automatically ask me to choose an emulator and to run it. So I'll close that dialog. So the next thing I'm going to do is create the Hello World program. There are some programs here already, or some projects. One of them is open, this one, so I want to close that. So right click it and close project. And the reason I do that is that there's no confusion as to which source files I'm editing when I have my new project created. So I'll close all projects and just have one open, which is going to be my new project that I'm about to create. So to do that, File, New, and Android Application Project. If it doesn't appear there for any reason, just check down in Other, it will be there instead. If it's not there, you haven't installed the plugin and the SDK correctly. But in our system with the virtual PC, it's installed correctly. So I'll select Android Application Project. A few dialogues here to fill out, but in fact I only need to fill out the first one, and when I do that, all the others are given default values, and I'll use the default values. So I'm going to create my project, and I'm going to call it Hello World. So that's the application name. This is what the user will see in their list of applications. The project name, which is what will appear over here, has set to a default of Hello World as well. I can change that. These two don't have to be the same. And the package name is also given a default value. I don't need to change that either. So I click Next. I'm asked to choose an icon. We're going to use the default icon, and it's shown there in 4 different resolutions. So when your program is installed on your phone, the phone will choose the best icon based on the resolution of your display. So it'll create all four icons. So we click Next again. So we're given a choice here of 2. We're going to choose the first one, which is blank activity, again the default, and click Next. The next dialog asks us for some more information. So the first one is the activity name. So behind each screen on your application is an activity. So our Hello World program is going to have just one screen which will display Hello World. That screen is the equivalent of an activity, and there's going to be two things associated with that screen. An activity class, which we're going to call main activity, the default name here, and there's going to be an XML layout document, and the default name for that here is activity_main. So we're going to expect to see in the source folder a main activity class file, and we're going to see in the layout resources folder an XML layout file called activity_main.xml. So I leave all those as defaults as well and click finish. So this is going to take a while. So down here on the right hand corner you'll see an status bar showing it as it's creating the wizard is creating the application. We see over here on the left, and it's still running. You'll see our project created. So we've got our existing closed projects at the top, and now we have one new opened project called Hello World. So let's just check the source folder by opening it. There's our package name. A package is a folder of classes. If we open that package, we'll just see one class, but in our on later projects will be more complex. They'll have more screens, and for each screen we'd expect a Java source file in there, plus other Java source files for doing other stuff in our application. So if I double click on main activity.java, I'll see there's my source code. This is the name of the class, and the screen that is associated with our activity has this class associated with it. Also associated with our screen is the XML file, and here's the visual representation of that XML file. Automatically placed in the XML file is a piece of text, Hello World, and that's going to display when our application runs. So the next thing to do is to run our application. So right click on the top root folder of Hello World, right click and come down here as Run As, and we'll select Android application. It might come up with Run Configurations instead on its own, and if you do that, just select the particular Android emulator. But that's okay. We're going to just select Android application, and we'll see our progress down here as the project is built and the emulator is launched. Now you may have been presented with the Run Configurations option, in which case select that and choose the emulator from the list of emulators. You've only got one emulator, so you choose that one that you created. You might have to click through some of the tabs on the dialog that is displayed for you there. So we're just waiting for the emulator to launch. It takes a while because it's emulating the phone hardware, the processor, the RAM, the display, all that stuff. Then it's got to install Linux on top of that, plus the Android operating system as well. And then when that finally loads all that, we'll see the home screen of the emulator. So we'll just wait for that. It takes a while. A long while. And if you had a multi-core PC, as this one is, in fact, it doesn't make any difference for this, because it has to go through the sequence of emulating the hardware first, then the operating system and so on. It can't do any of that stuff in parallel, so that's why this takes a long time. So the home screen is up, and the program is run automatically. Now, in some cases, the home screen comes up and you have to unlock it. So you drag the left-hand icon and drag it to the right. In this case, the emulator didn't present the screen lock screen and it came straight up. So that's our